وَمَا يُؤْمِنُ أَكْثَرُهُم بِاللَّهِ إِلَّا وَهُمْ مُشْرِكُونَ. Allah affirmed that they have something called Iman. But then He said they do shirk along with that. Now this is a very interesting verse. Allah is saying the Quraysh have Iman. Allah is saying the Quraysh have Iman. And yet Allah also says they do shirk with that Iman. And yesterday we said for Tawheed to be accepted, shirk has to be what? 0%. So if there is an element of Tawheed and Iman, but there is also shirk, will that Tawheed be accepted? No. So Allah is affirming they have some type of Iman, but I'm not going to accept it. Ibn Abbas said, their Iman is that they believe Allah created them. Their Iman is that they believe Allah created them. And their shirk is that they worship other than Allah. Their Iman is that they believe Allah created them. And their shirk is that they worship other than Allah. Now this clearly shows Ibn Abbas understood Tawheed is of different types. Because a part of Tawheed is to believe Allah created you. That's Tawheed al-Rububiyyah. But a part of Tawheed is to worship Allah. And that's where they fell short. One of the evidences that the Sahaba divided Tawheed into different categories is this evidence of Ibn Abbas. The third evidence that the Quraysh believed in Allah is a series of verses which really is the crux of the matter. And it is regarding the reasoning why the Quraysh worshipped other than Allah. What is the reason why the Quraysh worshipped other than Allah? The question arises, if they believe Allah created them, why did they worship the idols? What's the wisdom behind that? If they think that Allah created them, why are they turning to the idols? Allah tells us in the Quran. Allah mentions to us in the Quran the excuse of the Arabs for turning to other than Allah, the Jahili Arabs. The first of these excuses, and these verses really need to be memorized. These are the crux of the matter. Why do people turn to other than Allah when they acknowledge Allah to be the Lord? To this day, the same thing happens. There are certain Muslims there, they believe Allah is created them, but they turn to dead saints. They turn to other beings besides Allah, and they think that these beings will help them. The same mentality existed amongst the Quraysh. What is the excuse? The first excuse, Surah Yunus verse 18. Surah Yunus verse 18. وَيَعْبُدُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ مَا لَا يَنْفَعُهُمْ وَلَا يَضُرُّهُمْ. They worship besides Allah that which will not benefit them, nor will it harm them. These are wood, these are statues. They can't do anything for you. وَيَقُولُونَ, and they say, هَؤُلَاءِ شُفَعَاؤُنَا عِنْدَ اللَّهِ. These beings are our intercessors between us and Allah. They are intercessors. They take our pleas up to Allah. So they use them as middlemen. Now the key point here, who do the Quraysh believe will ultimately give them what they want? Allah. They're using these middlemen as intermediaries. Let's use them to get to Allah. And this is a key point. The Quraysh didn't think Allat will give them what they want. Al-Uzza will give them what they want. They thought Allat and Al-Uzza will take their requests up to Allah. The philosophy was very simple. We hear it all the time. I am too sinful. I am too unholy. I am too filthy. This person, this saint, this prophet, this wali, this angel is a righteous person. And he has a high status with Allah. So I will use them to come closer to Allah. It's this mentality that existed in the Jahili Arabs, and it exists to this day. The second evidence that the Quran mentions, Surah Zumar verse 3. Surah Zumar verse 3. Where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, مَا نَعْبُدُهُمْ إِلَّا لِيُقَرِّبُونَ إِلَى اللَّهِ زُلْفَى. We only worship these idols so that they will bring us closer to Allah.